Hey, I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all a little bit about my diagnosis and some of my symptoms and what I do to combat those symptoms so that maybe it'll help some of you guys. I was diagnosed with systemic lupus in August of this year. I've been trying to get in with the doctor since February when all this began. I did see a rheumatologist after I had a positive ANA from my PCP. She referred me to a rheumatologist, and I went to see that rheumatologist, and she ran a bunch of other lab work, and a lot of it came back questionable. But I didn't get a diagnosis at that time. She didn't take into account or factor in the symptoms that I was experiencing because they weren't typical lupus symptoms, which happens frequently. I wish that it didn't, but it's a common thing. And a lot of times it takes years to get a proper diagnosis. And by then, a lot of times it's caused permanent damage to your organs. I went to another rheumatologist because I wanted a second opinion. She ran some lab work because I had a positive ANA, and she took into account my symptoms along with it. At the time, I was having neurological symptoms, and which is atypical as initial onset for lupus. It can happen, but it's not common. So she ran some labs, and it's called Avise Testing, Avise. It's a more definitive way to differentiate between certain types of connective tissue disorders, and it's more sensitive. So when those came back, I went back to her office, and she diagnosed me with systemic lupus. I have to go see a neurologist because my symptoms are neurological. But today I want to talk about the severe dry eyes and dry mouth that I experienced in the beginning as well. It's, when I say severe, I mean it feels like your mouth is a desert. And my eyes were red and burning and very dry. I wear contacts, and I had to take them out. I had to take them completely out and not wear them. And I don't have glasses, so I was just using readers, the kind you get at the dollar store, which didn't help a whole lot, but it did help a little bit. Also, the dry eyes, I used re-wetting drops or artificial tears. It's best to use artificial tears and not anything like Visine or anything like that. But I was putting them in frequently. If you have dry eyes, chronic dry eyes, it puts you at risk for ulcers on your cornea. If you keep them moisturized with eye drops or ice packs to keep the inflammation down or to help with inflammation, it will greatly reduce the risk of corneal ulcers. And that's a whole different set of issues. That's very painful. Also, the dry mouth, I have, it's like mouthwash just to moisturize your mouth. And also, it's a good idea to have sour, sugar-free, like hard candies on hand at all times because it causes you to secrete more saliva. So, because if you have chronic dry mouth all the time, that causes another issue with cavities. Chronic dry mouth will cause you to develop cavities. So those two things are just some of the symptoms that I have, and that's ways that I combat those particular type issues. But I just wanted to let y'all know that, and I'll be coming back with other symptoms that I experience and how I kind of deal with those. So if you have any questions, you can just leave me a comment, share this video. It may help somebody else. It may help you. Feel free to ask me any questions. I mean, I'm an open book. So I'll talk to y'all later.